I'm Debbie Wright with Crosswalk.com. Today we're going to be talking with Justin Buzzard, author of Date Your Wife by Crossway Books. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Date Your Wife and why you wrote it?
My wife Taylor, we were having a conversation and I asked her this question, that how many marriages can you think of that are strong, thriving, happy marriages? The kind of marriage where if you're single and you see that marriage, it makes you want to get married because you see what this couple has. And we could only think of 2 marriages like that. And that's really what prompted me to want to write this book. And I'm in church world. I was at a big, large church at that time, and we could only come up with 2 of those marriages. And so I wanted to write a book that would help men recover something that I think has been lost, and that's a true biblical portrait of what it means to be a man and what it means to take great care of your wife. And the way I say that is date your wife.
Why do you think men will want to read your book, and why will their wives want them to read this book?
Well, yeah, I think men need help. I think most husbands, want to be a good husband. Right? I think most husbands want to do a good job at this, but are maybe a little stuck, a little lost. I kind of wrote this book with all kinds of husbands in mind. Those husbands who have a pretty good marriage that just needs maybe a slight kind of jump start to it. Husbands who are just really stuck, and husbands who have a total train wreck of a marriage. I'm really speaking to all types of guys here. And also it's a great book for single guys to read as they prepare for marriage. So I think a man wants to read this book to get a fresh and bigger vision for who he can be, for what his marriage can be, and to really be empowered. It's also just a great book for women to read as well. Obviously the book's geared towards men, but a lot of ladies are reading it and being helped by it.
Why do you think it's important for men to be dreamers?
Because nothing great happens without a dream. I was in Atlanta a few weeks ago speaking to men about this book, and I stayed at my friend James's house, and James lives on the same street that Martin Luther King Jr. was born on, just a block away, and went down and saw the house that Martin Luther King Jr. was born in, saw Ebenezer Baptist Church where Martin Luther King Jr. pastored, and I was just thinking about this man's life, and I was thinking, man, God, how did you use this man in such a massive, massive way? I mean, his life had so much impact, and I thought, well, he had a dream. This man had a dream, and what I want men to see is that they need to get a new dream, a new vision from God for what their marriage could be, and so I talk a lot about that in the book, a man's need to dream again for his marriage.
What would you say is the bottom line of Date Your Wife? Like, what's the main thing you want men to take away from it?
Yeah, you could sum up the book in one sentence, and that is, if you want to change a marriage, change the man, and Jesus changes the man. So I really believe if you want to see a marriage changed, you go after that man, and if you want to change that man, Jesus has to change that man. So this isn't a book just telling men, hey, just step it up, be a man. It's a book saying you need Jesus, and as Jesus comes into your life and changes your life, whether you've been a Christian for years or whether you've never even heard of Jesus, as he changes you into a new man, your marriage can go in a whole new, fresh direction.